More news from India. The Union Cabinet has approved a major reform. And frankly, I can't believe it's taken this long. Nonetheless, it's finally happening. The Indian government wants to raise the minimum age of marriage for women. Right now it is 18. The government wants to raise it to 21. Same as men. The cabinet has cleared this move. The next step is amending the concerned laws through Parliament. Which are those laws? The Child Marriage Act of 2006, the Special Marriage Act of 1954, and of course, all the personal laws. Now those are the technicalities, but I want to focus on the reform. What does this decision mean for India's 600 million women? Should you celebrate it or not? The answer is yes, you should. This move is a victory for women empowerment. Let me tell you why. Early marriage is not always a good idea. I'm not talking about high school sweethearts marrying early. I'm talking about forced marriages. They happen all over India, all the time. Families eagerly wait for their daughter to turn 18, and when she does, she's married off. No education, no financial independence, no experience of the outside world. She's pushed into a relationship that she may or may not want. What happens next? Early marriages often mean early pregnancies. We're talking about massive health consequences here. There could be complications, there could be mental health problems. Is an 18-year-old equipped to deal with all of this? More importantly, should the state let her deal with all of this? No, it shouldn't. The fact is, 18 is too young for marriage. Just think about what you have at 18, no degree, little understanding of the world, plus you've just exited the most volatile period of your life, your teenage. Unfortunately, some parents misuse this innocence. They think of daughters as a mouth to feed. And how do you eliminate that mouth? By marrying her off. You'd be surprised at how common this is. Let me tell you what the National Family Health Survey found. Out of all the women aged 20 to 24, one-fourth were married before 18. That's around 25% of these women. If you raise the marriage age, you can bring this number down. Now, as always, there are critics. Here's what they ask. What difference do 3 years make? If you're forced to pay a dowry at 18, or if you're forced into a relationship at 18, you'll be forced to do the same at 21. Well, here's what I have to say. Stop thinking from a man's perspective, or the family's perspective. Think from a woman's perspective for a change. In 3 years, she can complete her education. In 3 years, she can get a job. And in 3 years, she will probably reject men who ask for dowry. That is what real progress looks like. Which means the reform should not end here. Raising the minimum age is step one. Step two is outreach and awareness. Make sure girls are put in schools. Make sure they get the same meal as their brothers. Make sure there is no social stigma around marrying late. That should be our next task. Now let me show you an interesting list. It shows the minimum age of marriage for women in other countries. In Britain, America and France, it is 18. In Qatar and Pakistan, it is 16. Do you see the pattern here? Two types of countries have low legal age for marriage, the ultra-conservative ones and the modern ones. And India is somewhere in between. Modern society states a woman's choice whether to get married or to stay single or when to marry. But the fact is, most women in India are denied that choice. It's not theirs to make. So a higher legal age is the only solution. In fact, this could be a new template for governance in India, reforms that target women. We've seen many examples in this country, like the abolition of the triple talaq. Very important again, it was an archaic tradition that had no place in the 21st century. Or the Ujjwala scheme. Indian women have long suffered cooking with coal and wood. It's a health nightmare, but Ujjwala offered an escape. Millions of LPG connections have been distributed to women below the poverty line. We need to keep this up. Women-centric reforms can bring holistic change. It's a fact. Like India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru said, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. However, if you educate a woman, you educate a family. That still holds true, and this can be applied to all reforms. Financial inclusion, subsidies, family planning. The fact is, when women take the lead, the reforms work out better. So raising the legal marriage age is a good idea. But we must do more. We must offer more opportunities for Indian women, or else we will not eradicate forced marriages. We will just have delayed them.